Landslide is the story of 1,000 days in the mid-1960s when two new, fantastic visions take hold of the country's imagination. One from the left, one from the right. And it's also the story of the two men who created those visions, Lyndon Johnson and Ronald Reagan. Johnson and Reagan are two giants of the late 20th century, the iconic liberal and conservative presidents. And we're accustomed to thinking of them as belonging to two very different moments in time. But in fact, they were contemporaries. They were born less than 3 years apart. In the 1,000 Days I write about, we see them both inventing the personas that are going to define them in history. And in the process, they also reinvent American politics. Johnson and Reagan were both ranchers. Reagan raised hunters and jumpers. For him, the rancher is the majestic cowboy riding up on the ridge. Johnson comes from a long line of cattle drivers. For him, ranching means sometimes having to get down and scream at your animals in the muck. But in the end, the appeal is the same. The rancher is the man on the horse, the one that everybody looks at and the one that everybody follows. Reagan described the first time he appeared before a live audience, the feeling he got as heady wine. And Johnson would have understood exactly what he meant by that. For both of them, that's the most important thing, to be the hero in a grand story that everyone watches. When Landslide begins, they're both thwarted in that need. Johnson is languishing in the vice presidency. He's in his mid-50s, he's out of the limelight, and he's deeply depressed. And he's looking toward old age, and it seems highly unlikely that he's ever again going to know the kind of power and acclaim that he's always needed to survive. Reagan is years and years removed from his movie idol days. He's lost his job as the host of the GE Theater on TV. He's just started work on this dark and depressing film called The Killers, in which he plays a conniving and corrupt gangster. It's the kind of part he hates, but it's the only work he can get. And he too is looking at old age, wondering if there's ever going to be a chance for him to be a star again. But then John F. Kennedy is assassinated in Dallas, and the country is overcome with uncertainty and fear. And Reagan and Johnson both understand that there's an opportunity for someone who can tell the country a new story that is at once exciting and reassuring. Over the next 1,000 days, they both transform their lives as they step forward to be the hero that the country can follow. Johnson will assume the presidency, push forward the most ambitious legislative agenda of any president since Franklin Roosevelt, and he'll also make the fateful decisions that commit America to a protracted war in Vietnam. Reagan will will himself out of obscurity into politics, winning the California governorship with plans to soon run for president. They'll both craft new myths for the country that shape our politics to this day, and all of it will come from the same need inside of both of them. I'm Jonathan Darman, and my book is Landslide, LBJ and Ronald Reagan at the Dawn of a New America.